Hi, welcome to Woodsmill. Today we're going to be looking for leaf miners. Got three really distinctive mines on here, all pretty common. We've got this one, these are the little silvery blotches, which are practically every hazel bush in the country is going to have these on at this time of the year. And these are nutleaf blister moth mines. Philonericta coryli, tiny little white and silvery gold, what's that called now? Caddis. Tiny little moth, wingspan less than 10 millimetres. If it's fully grown caterpillar can live in a little blotch on a leaf that size, it's always going to be tiny, isn't it, I suppose. Another one here, we've got this little square shaped pattern on the leaf. On the upper surface you just get this little outline, but on the underside of the leaf you can see you do get a little blister similar to these ones. Is a species called Peronix devoniella, or something along those lines. Quite difficult to tell apart actually as adults. There's a few of them and they all look very similar, but each species feeds on a different food plant, so you know when you see its distinctive mine on the leaf, then you know that it is definitely that species. So we've got two types of mine here. We've got these are known as blister mines, and we've also got the gallery mines, and there's one here. I think there's a small one here, a little wiggly pattern. What you can do is you can take the leaf, get a lens on it, but if you hold it up to the light, can you get the camera on that? You see, so you've got the little mine, and then the black line that runs down the middle of it is the frass trail, which is basically the caterpillar's poo. And you can see that the mine, it starts off on the underside of I think it's on the underside, where the egg is laid by the moth. They always lay the egg is always laid on one side or the other of the leaf, depending on the species. And I think this one starts on the underside, and you've got a very narrow little channel where the tiny caterpillar starts off. It's just hatched from the egg. It bores into the leaf, and then as it grows, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the mine itself that it creates gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And sometimes, again, when you hold these up to the light, you can see the caterpillar inside. On this one, I don't think we can. I think it's been vacated. Not all leaf mines are caused by moths. There are many that are caused by fly larvae, and also beetle larvae. And more often than not, moths are on the easier to find anyway, on the broadleaf trees, and on the sort of herbaceous stuff like this. This is a hogweed, I think. It tends to be fly mines, and fly mines are also usually easier to spot because they're messier. I mean, this is just scribble on the leaf surface, which and the frass trail that the larva leaves is usually much messier. It has to be said, actually, when you start looking, mines of all sorts start appearing out of nowhere. I mean, again, I have no idea as to what these are, but we've got a little blotch on there, and a little gallery mine on that one. We've got a mine on Hawthorn. Stinging myself here on the stinging nettles for science. I think that is a buttercup of some sort. I don't know. Big leaves though. No, I'm sure it's not. But again, another mine on this leaf as well. Well, this is I think probably a vacated. Looks a bit sort of brown and old, as does the leaf. But this is, I think, the vacated mine, potentially, could still be occupied, of Stigmella aurella, probably the commonest of all the leaf miners, and you'll see on more or less any bramble bush. It's known as the golden pygmy, the moth itself, in its so-called common name. And it's tiny little thing, about again, no more wingspan of no more than about 6 millimeters. But when you look at it under a lens, it's a beautiful little golden, tiny little moth. What I was going to look for is there is a micro moth which lays its eggs in the spore forming organs. Is it the sporangia of hart's tongue fern? Oh, here we go. You can see inside there will be a caterpillar. It's not quite a mine, but it's as close as you can get without burrowing into the leaf. You could brush the spores away and actually expose the caterpillar, but I won't. It seems a bit unfair on it. But that's it's known as the fern smut, and it's if I remember rightly, Psychoides filicivora. But we've got a few records of that here as well. But yes, it only feeds on the caterpillars actually eat the spores, and so you only get them at this time of the year. Strange little moths. As many a dissertation has been written on the ecology of the holly leaf miner and its predators and parasites. Yeah, but again, a very, very common species which will be seen on most holly trees. But like all these things, very under-recorded too. If you looked at a map of holly leaf miner, you would think that it was quite rare, but it's not. But what we've got here is a selection, not the very best of selections, of so-called green islands, which are a remarkable example of symbiosis. And each one of these green islands, if we look carefully, has a mine associated with it. What happens is the caterpillar forms this symbiotic relationship with a species of bacterium, and it's the bacterium which infects, for want of a better word, the mine, and the leaf tissue around where the mine is situated is caused to basically stay alive, so that after the leaf has fallen to the ground in the autumn, as we are now, the caterpillar that's inside still has something to feed on, and the bacterium is able to keep the leaf alive for a sufficient amount of time for the caterpillar to grow fully and turn into a chrysalis at the end of it all. And we can find these on all sorts of species. These are, of course, all oak, and I don't know what the species of moth is that we're looking at, but you can also find these on beech. Is a really good one to look on, but aspen and poplar and many other species. But it's when you see these little green spots on fallen leaves that again the cause of them is these leaf mining moths.